Okay, these are request videos, and I guess I'll do it two in one. One guy asks, "How do you keep a girl? How do you talk to a girl after you get her number or her Instagram?" And the other guy asks, "How do you keep a girl interested until you actually hit?" Well, when you first get a girl's number, depending on the girl, like I would say, if she's a 8, 9, or 10, give it a, give it a day or two, right? And you know whether she's an 8, 9, or 10, not whether you think she's an 8, 9, or 10, a real 8, 9, or 10. You know a real 8, 9, or 10, because the eights, you're like, damn, she's so bad. You might think she's a 9, but like she's an 8, not an 8 in your books, not 8 in your book, but like a real solid 8. Like, damn, like she looks mad good, has a nice body, like probably one of the baddest girls you ever talked to. But you know, there's girls that still look better than her, right? You know, a few IG models that you would choose over her, maybe, but she's still really bad, right? So you know the 8, 9s, and 10s. So 8, 9s, and 10s, give it a day or two before you actually hit her up. Um, Regular girls, anything below that, maybe you could call them that same day. Maybe you could text them that same day. There's always exceptions, right? Um, Try to talk to them on the phone. Keep it short. Keep it to 20 minutes. Don't be on the phone all day. Make sure you hang up first. Text her. Text her throughout the day. Maybe set up a date. On the text series, I put a whole format to how to set up the date. Give her some conversation. You have to build the comfort. Building comfort is very important. You could flirt a little bit, but try not to get too sexual, because when you get too sexual too fast, she's gonna put you into the category with everybody else, right? Especially if she's an 8, 9, and 10. Don't try not to give any validation yet. And sometimes some guys don't give any validation at all. But flirting is a form of validation. It's just very low, especially very low form, especially if you do it right, right? Um, and if you don't know what flirting is, go watch the video on flirting. But talk to her. And one of the things you guys don't do, and this is a generational thing, this new generation, you guys don't believe in talking on the phone. Get on FaceTime. When you're building comfort, is her getting used to you, you getting to know her being comfortable with you. So when you finally see her, you can open her up for sex. Remember, cumulatively, you need, I think it's, what is it? I think I think it's 5 to 7 hours of comfort building accumulatively. I think it is. I forget what the number is. Accumulatively, you need about that much. Or is it like 7 to 10? Sometimes this can take days. Sometimes it can take weeks, depending on how much you see her. But if you FaceTime her, that's the closest thing you're going to get to hanging out with her in person, if she's interested. If she doesn't want to talk on the phone, that's fine. Text her. Try to set up a date. Maybe don't text her all day, every day, because if you're texting her every day, all day, every day, you're not standing out from the other guys that's talking to her. You seem too easy. You telling her you want her. Don't tell her you want her, because she knows she can have you now. Be a bit of a challenge. Be a bit of a mystery. Don't be so responsive. Sometimes talk to her, give her a little back and forth conversation. Sometimes don't text her for a few hours. Sometimes don't text her let a whole day go by. It's like, hey, what's up? I had a really busy day. A lot of things going on, right? You know, but just be consistently inconsistent. Sometimes you don't want to do 8-hour replies, 2-hour replies every time you reply, because like I said, you kind of kill the momentum when you're trying to have a good conversation. You can't possibly have a good back and forth conversation if you're replying every 2 hours. It doesn't work that way, guys. You got to use your brain. You say, oh, I'm gonna reply every hour. No, you can't have any good momentum. How can you get into a good flow of a conversation if you're responding so slow all the time? And sometimes that's okay, because I do that sometimes, but I also compensate it for it by talking on the phone. Or sometimes I might give you a little back and forth conversation, So you gotta know a balance with that. But yeah, actually set up a date. Give a little conversation over the phone, and after you set up the date, maybe talk to her on the phone maybe 2 or 3 times until you actually set up the date. See when she's available. But actually build comfort, build game. Watch out for the compliance test. Watch out for the shit test. If she disrespects you, check her. You know what I'm saying? Don't allow disrespect. It's these little things. Also, NLP. I'll make another video on NLP. What NLP is, I made a video on it already. NLP is another thing that's going to help with you connecting with her. It's going to help with building comfort on the phone, especially on the phone, and especially in person. And then when you finally get her in person, build comfort and some Kino escalation. And Kino escalation is not just touching her hand, high-fiving. No, it's escalating. So when things get a little more sexual, you got to take risks, build sexual tension, but don't do it right away. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to set off her red flags and like, oh, he just wants to fuck, you know. You don't want to come off too sexual. I do it a lot. And sometimes I just do it naturally, but I still be getting a pussy. But I don't give a fuck. If you're going to take the risk, take the risk. But if not, you're going to play it safe, play it safe. You know what I'm saying? So when you get her number, you know, so depending on the girl, depending on the type of vibe she gets you, just don't come off too easy. Don't come off overzealous. Don't come off super needy. If she asks you, you're talking to other girls, say, yeah, nothing serious, I am. Let her know you have options. Don't seem like some fucking bozo, like, oh yeah, no girls are good enough to talk to me. Is the only girl that I'm talking to. Yeah, I am. Nothing serious, I'm sure. And say, I'm sure you are too, even if she isn't. Like, yeah, I'm sure you are too. That's normal when you're single. Yeah, exactly. And then you know these bitches are talking to people. So that's more or less how you need to do that. And just go about setting it up. And once you set up a good date, you have a good date. Stay calm, cool, and relaxed. Don't get too crazy. You know, at first you got to play it cool. You got to pursue a little more until you build the attachment. Then you start acting up, you know? Then you start pulling out the toxic antics. But that's pretty much that. And that's how you play that for now.